Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday night. It's our live stream. I'm Chris, your host. Doing a little evening hangout on this summer night. It kind of feels like fall out there. This is always the awkward part where nobody's on and you're talking to yourself. So I'm trying to wait until some more people jump on before we get going here. But, yeah, the weather's really nice out here. I don't know about where you guys are, but it's nice, cool fall weather. It's getting me in that fall Halloween mood. Anyway, how's the sound? Always messing with the sound here, guys. How's everyone doing tonight? I ordered some things for my computer setup, and I got them today. I'm super excited about it, but there's always bad with good. So didn't work out again. So I got good news and bad news. I ordered the I got it right over here. I have like a setup thing so I can mount my microphone above me on an arm. So I got this arm because the first one didn't work. So I went and I bought a more expensive, sturdier one that is made exactly for my microphone. And I got that today. I didn't even bother opening the arm because this is the main attachment that I need. And of course, doesn't fit. Doesn't fit just like the last one I bought. And it took me forever to get, because it wasn't like an Amazon order. It took me a couple of weeks just to get it here, and now I can't use it. So I was super excited to just getting really irritated. And then my computer wasn't working. I couldn't get it to start up after that. So yeah. Then I was kind of getting scared that my computer something was wrong with it. I wasn't going to be able to do the stream. Otherwise, I would have started this stream a lot earlier, because there's a threading under here that the attachment is supposed to screw into, and the last one I get, it wasn't working. The hole here was too small for the attachment, so I bought the actual attachment for, by this company, and it's too small. Why they would make the several microphones they have for the Blue Yeti with a different size a hole in there is just beyond me, because now I have to return it or whatever I need to do, and it's just a pain. So on the other hand, I got my PlayStation working, so I can start streaming on Twitch. So I'm excited to try that. I finally got it working earlier this morning before I went to bed. So that's working. I was going to, and there's a lot of games that I want to try out, but I only have one game right now, and that's Days Gone. It's a zombie game, and I was going to start it just to see how it worked, but I wanted to save that for the Twitch and show you guys my first moments playing the game, not even knowing how to play it or how the controls work. So yeah, I'll be doing that later. The Last of Us. Yeah, I bought Days Gone instead of The Last of Us. I checked out Last of Us, and I feel like I've played it before. But is The Last of Us only for PlayStation? At least part one, I feel like I played it, or maybe I just watched it or something. But everybody told me that Days Gone was a lot better, so I got that one. But I will do Last of Us later on. I just can't buy all the games at once. Yeah, I had my eye on The Last of Us Part 2. It looks really good. Yeah. So the PlayStation is now hooked up. I was so tired when I was hooking up. I spent all last night trying to figure it out, because it's easy to just hook it up, but I'm trying to hook it up through my computer so I can still have my camera on and stream. And it just was like a huge pain watching these tutorials and then finally figuring out. And it's not even hooked up directly into the computer. I'm using a remote play to do it. So hopefully it's still, the quality's still good and we don't lose or lag or anything like that. But anyways, I was watching a tutorial on how to set it up, and the guy's tutorial basically was like the screen of his PlayStation, and I paused it because I fell asleep. I fell asleep in my chair right here last night, and I must have woken up and went into my bed, and I ended up waking up at like 5 in the morning, and then I'm like, oh no, I forgot to turn the PlayStation off. So I came in here and it was already like, there's like a timer, so it turned itself off. But the screen was still on from my YouTube video, the YouTube tutorial I was watching, and it looked exactly like the PlayStation. And at the bottom, it was signed in under some guy's name, Henry Tang or something, or Henry Trang. And I'm looking at it, still half asleep, going, Henry, what did they sell me? I bought this brand new. Did they sell me one that was already used and taken back that somebody already signed up for? Like, in my mind, I thought it was my PlayStation and somebody else signed into it, and I had a used one that they just returned and ended up shipping to me. I was so like upset for a few minutes, and then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's a YouTube video. So yeah, I thought that was a funny story. There's a lot of vegan streams going on today. Is there? Well, that's cool. Everybody's streaming lately probably because of the pandemic. What else is there to do? A lot of streams going on. This is my normal night to stream. Wednesday night is a normal night on this channel to stream. So here's your Wednesday one. I try to do it every single Wednesday for months and months and months. And I've only kind of mixed that up a couple times. And I try to do several streams a week. And I'm also thinking about maybe even doing the PlayStation stream onto this channel. I don't know if anybody would enjoy that or not. I was tired on that Twitch, Linda, but I didn't almost fall asleep on there. But I definitely fell asleep in my chair last night. Oh, is he Vegan Games streaming a game right now? Yeah, so something like that. I was thinking, like, if I just pulled up a game and played it here. I mean, the following I have on this channel is a lot bigger than the following I have over on Twitch. So maybe we get some more interaction going. I like it when you guys interact. I like it when I have something to talk about. Otherwise, if nobody's like interacting, it's like, well, nobody wants to hear my stories. Nobody, I don't know. So the more people that are interacting, the more stories I tell, and then we kind of feed off of each other. Well, there's a lot of games I was looking at. I don't remember the names of them all, but the first game obviously is Days Gone. I want to play that one. I normally play EverQuest, but yeah, on the PlayStation, I want to play Days Gone. And then there's this other one, I forget what it's called, but I've seen someone play it before, and it looks fun. It's like a creepy atmosphere where you play a teddy bear going through different rooms and stuff, and it's creepy. And I'm like, that might be a fun game to stream. So if you guys know what game I'm talking about, let me know. Yeah, I stream on Twitch. Lately, I've been streaming a few times a week. So I'm the Vegan Zombie over there on Twitch. However, I always explain it like this. Somebody took my name, so I'm the Vegan Zombie without an E at the end. So just Vegan Zombie with an I, ending in an I. Yeah. Five Nights at Freddy's. Is that what it's called? A creepy teddy bear. I don't know. I was looking through all the games this morning, and I'm like, there was other games. I'm like, maybe I should get this game instead of the zombie game. But I told everybody I was going to do the Days Gone, so I'm starting with that game first. Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks for following on Twitch. Basement Crawl. Yes, Basement Crawl. That's what it's called. Wouldn't I get more viewers on my main channel? I probably would. There's a lot more followers on the main channel. I'm kind of, I don't know. People are very critical over on that channel, and I just feel like if I did that, it's completely different content, and I feel like people would be like, "What's this? Where's the cooking video? Where's whatever?" And unsubscribe. So I don't know. That's why I do a lot of my other stuff on this channel, but I don't know. Maybe we could do that. Maybe we could take a poll and see if anybody wants to watch that. Or maybe around Halloween time we can stream some spooky games over. That's what I really want to do, with this, the zombie theme in my channel. I want to do some, kind of spooky games and stuff like that. Although I do other games too. Yeah, I've Veginator. I did see, that's like one of the biggest games they're promoting right now is the Ghost of Tsushima. It looks really cool. But these games are expensive, so I can't just buy all the games that I want to do right off the bat. So I'm going to kind of just take it from the beginning and trying to let my channel grow. And as it grows, I'll just I'll get more games. I'll invest back into the channel, if you will. You think so, Iron Gamer? Yeah, maybe we could try it out. Because my Twitch channel is still pretty small. But even though I've been doing it for, 8 or 9 months now. How much is a game? A game is anywhere from like $20 to $60. But some of the good games are around $50 or $60. So, yeah. It adds up. There's a lot of games I want to play and they add up. So I'm going to start with one. Try to get used to the controllers and stuff. I got these new headphones. I think I'm going to take the other ones back. These ones right here seem to be a little more comfortable than the Turtle Beach. These are the Logitech ones. So, PlayStation over here. It heats up pretty fast. I didn't even play a game. All I did was turn it on and it got really hot. You enjoyed my baklava video? Awesome. Yeah, that was a fun video that I did with my whole family and brought the baklava to them and everybody got to try it. Everybody liked it. You buy your nephew games used at GameStop. I didn't even think of that. I thought you had to just... So I literally just opened the PlayStation last night and... Can you get physical games for it? Like actual DVDs you put in the game? Because it's really compact. I can't really even see where you would even... Unless this is it over here. I just downloaded the game right to the PlayStation. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I got to get used to like the controller and everything. I got it plugged in right now, but it looks pretty much the same, yet a lot different at the same time than the original PlayStation. That's the only PlayStation I've ever owned or ever played was the original PlayStation, and I had that back in the 90s. I remember. Does anybody know the game? The game that I used to play was called Blood Omen, Soul Reaver, and it's a vampire game. Have they made like the newest, latest edition of that game, or are those the only two editions? Because I would play that too. What's the last good movie I watched? I'm not really. Maybe it was. I really like Knives Out. I watched that. And Vast of the Night, I thought that was pretty good too. I watched both of them. But I haven't really watched any movies since then. I've been watching like TV show, Netflix series, stuff like that. So the one that I'm currently watching that I'm not finished with, I haven't watched it in about a week, but I was binging it for a little bit. Handmaid's Tale. Pretty messed up. I'm on the last season, though. I'm like halfway through the last season. But if you guys have any suggestions of good movies that I could watch, let me know. I saw some other documentary. I saw the one with Zac Efron that was pretty good. It was something about the war. I forget what it's called. But it was really good. You're on season 3 too? Yeah, I got the dogs walking around behind me. It's International Dog Day today. So I had to post some pictures of the dogs on my Instagram account. If you guys follow me, you can check that out. If you don't follow me, go follow me. The Umbrella Academy. Did I start that? I think I started that and never finished it. I think I only watched the first. You're watching the 6 Feet Under. I watched all of those way back in the day. Pretty good. And then, of course, Dexter. Dexter, really, really good show. I didn't see Lucifer on Netflix. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I did watch a lot of the Sabrina, but I think I stopped at she did a Christmas special. What kind of movies do I like? I like all kinds of movies. There's really no like. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge fan of the horror genre, but I like all kinds of movies pretty much. It all has to do with is the movie a good movie or not? Does it keep my attention? There's all kinds of genres that I like. I don't really like musicals. I really don't. I don't like musicals. Okay, so other than that, I like most other genres. And as far as horror movies go, I prefer movies from like the 70s and 80s and stuff like that. Now we were this horror themed Instagrammer that I follow had a question on there the other day saying, which time frame of horror movie do you like the best and why? And immediately I was like 70s and 80s were my favorite horror movies just because it's set in like a different time. Like this is before anybody could just pull out his cell phone and call for help. I mean, it just, that element in itself and the technology just made it that much scarier back then than it is now. Like nowadays you got cameras recording everything. You have like GPS location and police can show up no matter where you are with your cell phone. Like it's just so much easier to take the element of horror away. Although, you know, there's a lot of movies that do a good job of it. I just prefer the 70s and 80s as far as that. Yes, I saw Parasite. You know, when you asked that question, that's the first movie that actually came to my mind was Parasite. But I didn't watch that recently. I watched that, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 months ago. But I did a video talking about it, a live stream. And if anybody wants to see a good movie, it's a good movie. Resident Evil 2 remake. I've seen a bunch of the Resident Evils. I don't know which one I've seen and which ones I haven't, but I may have seen that. You were just looking at the photos of Indy? Yeah, he does. He's a good-looking pup. Yeah. Yeah, I like a lot of foreign films, too. I used to watch a ton of them when I lived in New York City. Like, literally, like 2 or 3 movies a day. I was a recluse. I didn't like to go out in the city. Night of the Comment, yeah. Well, the story that I've told you guys many times, you've probably already heard, unless you're new to the channel, was my first that I can recall. The first real horror movie that I didn't watch the whole thing, but the one that I watched first when I was a little kid was Children of the Corn. Yes, I did see Midsummer, and that was, I did another stream talking about that. That was a messed up movie. If you want a horror movie that's a decently done horror movie that is recent, Midsummer will, yeah, I think that would It's disturbing, okay? It's really disturbing. I liked it. Somebody mentioned something. So if you watch Midsummer again, so I had to go watch it again. But if you don't want to hear a spoiler, then don't listen for a minute. But so if you watch the very beginning intro of Midsummer, it pans across, you know, the parents and everything, they're sleeping. It pans across and you see a bouquet of flowers. So that kind of insinuates that the guy at the end, the guy that got them all to go where they actually went, was involved from the very beginning and kind of like orchestrated the lead character to actually go over there in the first place. So that's something I didn't realize at the very first time I watched it until my friend mentioned that to me. Just something to maybe I didn't even really give anything away, but just look for it at the beginning. Somebody recently, one of you guys, told me that I should watch Children Don't Play with Dead Things or something like that. Yeah, Parasite is a good movie, and it's nothing like you would think. Like when you hear Parasite, you think of like some kind of monster creature kind of thing. It's nothing like that. So it's very well done. It's incredible cinematography. I definitely recommend watching Parasite. Yes, that's true, Rebalancer. I do like to be disturbed and stuff. Like, there's so many horror movies. Like, I was so scared of horror movies when I was a kid, but yet I was compelled to watch them. Something about them, not probably the fact that I wasn't allowed to watch them, made me want to watch them even more. And I just fell in love with the whole horror genre, just horror in and of itself. The time of the year coming up to Halloween with, like just loving that time of year and wanting to, dress up as some kind of monster or, something scary. At least that's what it was like for me. Like today, everybody's dressing up in, something sexy and all that. But like for me, it was always about, take that opportunity to be something scary, So I've always loved it ever since I got in trouble for watching Children of the Corn when I was very little. And then later on, the first horror movie I was allowed to watch was Nightmare on Elm Street, and that was against my parents' wishes, but they dropped me off at my grandparents' house, and my grandfather was literally, probably looking back, very OCD about recording every movie that he could. And he was like bigger than a Blockbuster in his own little apartment. He had every movie possible recorded on VHS tapes, and he had them labeled and like 3 or 4 movies on each one and like the timestamp for each one, and then everything was logged into a notepad so you could find, like he had cases and cases on every wall of movies so you could find out, okay, if you go look to B5, you'll find this movie, and you pull it out and you put it in and you go to that time frame and you start the movie. So that's what he did for years and years and years. And when he passed away, like we got all these movies, and I still have a lot of the ones that he filmed, although most of them are not in good condition anymore. That was a long time ago. Anyway, so they dropped me off to be babysat by them, by my grandparents, and what's there to do there? There was nothing really to do there except for watch movies. So they said, all right, well, you want to watch a movie. What movie do you want to watch? I'm like, can I watch Nightmare on Elm Street? And my mom's like, absolutely not. I'm like, please, please, please. And she's like, no. And then my grandpa's like, yeah, let him watch it. He used to always like to scare her when she was little. So I was like, yeah, let me watch it. She's like, if you get scared, you don't come crying to me. I'm like, I promise, I promise. So there I was, alone, watching Nightmare on Elm Street, and it comes on, and you see Freddy's fingers on the boiler, on Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, at the very beginning, and I'm going, oh no, I'm watching this alone. What did I get myself into? But I continued to watch it. It scared the crap out of me, and then when it was, I spent the night there, so, that night when I went to bed, like, I couldn't, complain or cry to my parents. I was there. I was like, oh no, like, what did I just do to myself? Like, this is like the worst scary movie a kid could watch, because like Freddy only kills kids and he only kills you when you're sleeping. And I'm a kid and I have to go to sleep. So I was terrified, but I loved it. I loved being scared. And as I grew up, and even today, like, it's very hard to find any movies that actually scare me. And that's kind of sad, because I look towards the older movies that were, done in a different time. And, a lot of them were like cheesy 80s movies, but that's what I loved about them. So. Exactly, Labyrinth. Yes. But I remember there was like certain parts from different movies that I watched growing up, or maybe even got glimpses of before my mom caught me watching it and turned the TV off, that are still in my head, that like scarred me. But it was like it's a good way, because it built on like my love of horror. One of those was The Omen, Damien the Omen. And there was a scene, and I don't think I ever watched the whole movie, but there was a scene where they were out on the ice and Damien was there and the music started playing. And then the guy fell through the ice and everybody was trying to get him out, and he was under the ice, like looking up. And I'm like, oh my God, my mom would always, because I grew up in an area that, we have really severe winters, and like, don't go on the ice. If you fall through, and like, I always thought of that movie. If I fell through, there's no way I'm going to survive, because you get trapped under the ice and you can't find your way out. You get lost and disoriented, you're dead. So, watching that scene from The Omen where this guy's looking through the ice and they're trying to help him. They're trying to break it with an axe, and Damien's just over there with that evil, creepy stare, playing the music in the background. That definitely scarred me. That was one of them. There was another part of that. I don't know which one I watched, but they were in a car trying to take him somewhere or whatever, or maybe they were trying to go somewhere and he wasn't there. Maybe it wasn't even Damien. Maybe it was Amityville Horror. I don't know which one it was, but the car went out of control. And I don't know for people today that you don't really out of control. But back then when we were little, when a car goes out of control, you lose all control of it and there's nothing you can do. And in the 80s, that's what I used to think. Like, oh, I hope my parents' car don't go out of control. Thinking of, I don't know if it was Amityville or Damien, The Omen. But all of a sudden the door is locked and they couldn't steer it and the brakes didn't work. And I'm like, oh, the car went out of control. And that was scary. And then there was a scene from Amityville Horror where the kid was looking out the window and it came right down on his fingers. And he's like, ah. And like the scary music starts playing. And like, that was another scene that scarred me. But I think I did see The Witch. I wasn't impressed by The Witch. When I saw the preview of The Witch, I was like, oh my God, I got to see this movie. But when I actually watched it, yeah, it didn't do anything for me. Don't walk on the ice. Yeah, it like all these things. Don't do all these different things. Somebody just posted on Facebook, somebody in my local area, like, name some of the things that you've learned from watching horror movies. And I said, like, don't be a bully. Don't have sex. Don't say you'll be right back. And what was the last one I said? I forget now. But it was funny because those are like the things you don't do in a horror movie or you'll die. I'll think of the other one. Julie, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. $20. Always lose reception when I go to work. Catch the stream later. Love to have a good night. Thank you, Julie. I'm sorry that you have bad reception there. Have a good night at work, and hopefully you can catch this later. And again, I appreciate your super chats. They mean a lot. Thank you. Yes, Christine by Stephen King was about the car, but that was like it wasn't that movie that I was thinking of. I'm pretty sure it was The Omen, but. And while we're talking about horror movies, I ask this every time I start really talking about horror movies, because I used to watch all kinds of different things. Twilight Zone. My dad would let me watch. My dad loved Twilight Zone, and Rod Serling was from Syracuse, New York. Night Gallery. I didn't watch too much of that, but my dad told me a story about one. So even telling stories about one of the ones like scared me, and I would like tell all my friends, even though I never even watched it, about like kind of like a teddy bear that had claws, and I don't know. I never saw that one, so I don't know how scary it really was, but in my mind it was really scary. But there was this one movie that I saw, and I don't know what it is. Still to this day, I've watched a bunch of movies trying to find this, because to this day, what the lady said in this movie, what the voice said in this movie, it always stays in my head. And basically what it was I think she was in it was black and white. She was in a castle or a big mansion. I don't believe it was House on Haunted Hill. But it was like kind of a winding staircase. It wasn't like a straight up winding one like that, but it kind of very, very subtly winded around the outside of the wall. And I think the wall was like kind of like a castle kind of bricks, but I could be wrong on that. But anyway, she was wearing a white nightgown, and she's running down the stairs, and you heard a voice say, "Leave while you still can." And like that quote would always be in my head. And I remember just walking home when it got dark out from my friend's house, right down the street from my parents when I was little. And I'd be like, all right, walking home alone at night, only like literally 2 houses. And I'd be like, all right, so don't think of anything scary. Don't think of anything scary. And as soon as you say that, your brain starts thinking of every scary thing it can think of. Don't think of anything scary. Leave while you still can. And I'd be like, run home, run in the house. They'd be like, what's wrong? I'm like, oh, almost got caught by monsters. But anyway, still to this day, I do not know what that movie is. If anybody knows, let me know. The Staircase? That's the name of the movie? I don't think it had anything to do with a staircase. The Staircase. The Staircase. If anybody can find that movie that I'm talking about, and find that certain clip that I'm talking about, and kind of like send me that clip, I will be forever in debt, because I've been looking for this for the better part of my entire life. So over 30 years now that I've been looking for this clip of this movie. Oh no, I did see The Staircase, the documentary. Very interesting documentary, but definitely not the movie. Night Stalker? Yeah, the Twilight Zone definitely has been replicated and copied to this day. Rod thought of so many great things for the Twilight Zone. And in fact, I've told you this many times as well. I had a dream when I was a little kid, probably about 20 years ago. I was in college. I had a dream, and when I woke up, I was like, I'm not going to tell you the dream because I don't want somebody to copy it. But eventually, when I have the right resources and the right people to help me out, I'm going to do a short video. It really won't be that hard to do. I just need a couple people to help out, and I could make like a little short film, like real short film about this dream I had. But it would literally be in the Twilight Zone. And when I woke up, I was like, wow, I can't believe my brain thought of that. That's brilliant. Unfortunately, I don't have many dreams like that, but the ones I have, I try to remember them and eventually turn them into something for everybody to see. Yeah, the Twilight Zone, if you notice, especially in the first season, they mention my birthplace, Syracuse, New York. That's where Rod Serling was born. But they mention it several different episodes, and they also mention like surrounding areas around here too. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to watch that. Yeah, yeah, I've seen all the Ernest movies. The Spiral Staircase. They did. They put Syracuse on the map back in the day. Oh, rebalancer. I've done that too, where I've like got a tune for a song in my head, and then I'm like, oh, too bad I'm not a musician because that would be a good tune. Like try to remember it. And a few times I like kind of like hummed it out on my, I recorded it on my phone, different like beats and stuff that I thought were really cool, that were unique. I'm like, wow, I had a dream of it, and it's still in my head, and I don't think there's any songs like this. So hey, that'd be cool. Now I got to get a musician to like John or somebody to turn that into something. You could go for some, yeah, if you need to go get some snacks while watching this live stream, go ahead. Get some ice cream. You know, I think I'm going to do a stream after this on my PlayStation for the first time. First time PlayStation stream. The only bad part is when I do it, I have to unplug this monitor from my computer and plug this in. So that's kind of a bummer, but still, maybe I can get like I'm looking into getting a Switch. You know what? Maybe I'm thinking about it. Maybe I could pair it up without doing that now that I paired it up. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. But we're talking about, I got to change the title here. Talking about horror movies, because that's what we're talking about tonight. Horror movies. There we go. Well, that should update. If you haven't noticed, I like talking about horror movies. How long until, oh yeah, that's right. I shaved my beard right off my face. How long until my beard grows back? My beard grows pretty fast already. It's very rough like sandpaper. You can start to see it within a week, and then 2 weeks it doesn't take long for my beard to grow. What would I do if I woke up in my car? I'd be very disturbed because I don't forget many things. I've never really blacked out or anything. The only time I haven't remembered things is if I'm like deprived of sleep. I haven't slept in so long, and then I fall asleep. If somebody then wakes me up briefly, I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't recall any of it. So that's only if if I'm not woken up and stay up. But if somebody wakes me up and they're like, "Hey, Chris, you got a phone call," I might be like, this is the other crazy thing, and this is so weird. I've done it, to my knowledge, I've done it only I might have done it 3 times, but I definitely have done it twice. And I've had 2 friends witness this, okay? And I knew I was doing it, but I can't explain it, and I really wish it was like recorded, but it wasn't. So these are times that I fell asleep at 2 different friends. Well, once I fell asleep at a friend's house. The other one, it was at Expo, and I fell asleep at a hotel. And my friends were there with me, and the second incident, she woke me up. I fell asleep with my computer on. I was working, my computer on my lap, and I fell asleep. The other incident, I don't remember if she woke me up or not. But anyways, this is what happened. As soon as I was woken up, I sat right up and I started speaking in tongues, like flawlessly. I don't know what language I was speaking, but I feel like it wasn't gibberish. I feel like it was like ancient, like Egyptian or something. It was like I was like flawlessly speaking words that I was hearing myself say, but I was like, for a good 10 seconds, I was like communicating, like, and it wasn't like hard for me to say. I was like instantly, like really fast saying these words, and the look on my friend's face like was sheer like amazement and terror at the same time. And I did it twice, and I could hear the words I was saying, and I was like, what did I just say? What did I do? It definitely wasn't Spanish. It was, I don't know if it was like Latin or like some ancient, but it definitely felt like it was a language, not just gibber. Like I wasn't going blah, 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 you know, I was actually, oh, I wish it was recorded. I wish it was recorded and somebody could interpret to see if I really was speaking another language or not. But yes, it's true story. And I felt like I was out of my body too. Like I felt like when I sat up, I had no control over what I was doing. I was just like instantly like eyes fixated like in a terrifying way. Like I invoked fear in my friends. Like when they looked at me and I was saying the things I was saying, it was you know. And the second time, like the second incident, she tried to take my laptop off my lap so it didn't fall off the bed. We had separate beds, but she tried to take it off my lap. And when she did so, I sat up and I started doing it. And yeah. No, it didn't sound like any kind of Asian dialect. No, it wasn't French because I speak a little bit of French. I know a little bit of Spanish. And I know, you know, a little bit of Russian and I even learned a little bit of Chinese at one point. It wasn't any of these languages. It sounded like like all I can think of, like some ancient, maybe Latin or some Egyptian language. I don't know. Maybe ancient Sumerian. Ancient Sanskrit. Yeah, I don't know, but that was interesting. I don't know what other. I don't know. I mean, it could have been. I don't know, but I was saying it very fast. Like I knew what I was saying without hesitation. What other horror movies really stood out to me? I mean, I loved all the, like, as far as, you know, when I was still young, Friday the 13th movies, the camp ones. The camp ones were the scariest to me. So, like, probably part 1, 2, and 3. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1. I didn't really care for Part 2 as much, but I liked Dream Warriors Part 3. Well, I guess there's an app. So one of my friends, actually you might know her, Eco Vegan Gal, Whitney, she told me years ago when we were at an expo of an app that she had, and if you get up and talk in your sleep, the app automatically starts recording you. And she had like all these different recordings because she would like talk in her sleep. So we were all sharing a hotel. It was like her and Jason Robel and me and John, and you guys know that I'm on like a different schedule as most people, so I'm like a night owl, and they all fell asleep. And she had her app on so she could record something, and everybody was sleeping, and I was kind of under my covers looking at my phone just so, you know, I wasn't waking anybody up with the light of my phone. And I was up a lot later than everybody was sleeping but me. And sure enough, she started talking in her sleep, and it was terrifying. And it recorded it, and I'm like, Whitney, pull up what you said last night in your app. And basically, I can't even do what she did because she did it so fast, but it progressed to, like, she said it about 7 times, really, 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 really fast. I can't even say it as fast as she could, but it like startled me and my heart started beating. I'm like, what the, you know, like, so everybody's sleeping, I'm on my phone, and all of a sudden I hear her go, she goes something like this. She goes, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. She said it like 7 times, like, oh my God, like louder and louder and louder, like so fast. I can't even do it. Like Eminem fast. And then it was just silence. I'm like, what the heck? And then she played it the next morning, and it was, I'm like, that's scary. Like, we all heard it. So, yeah, Sleepaway Camp. I love those 80s movies. Another one that I talk about a lot that I saw that really scared me when I was little was The Hand with Michael Caine. This hand would come and kill you and stuff. What other movies? Yes, and it was at Expo East too, Trini. What else? Some other good movies that I really liked. I loved werewolf movies too. So I wasn't allowed to watch them, but I tried to get as much as I could, like Silver Bullet and The Howling. Later on, when I was like older, when I was old enough to watch whatever I wanted to watch, I remember seeing Pet Sematary when it first came out, and that's the first movie that I can really remember a jump scare scaring us. I was at my friend's house, like we were like all my skateboarder friends, and we were all spending the night at his house, and we had like snacks. Speaking of snacks, I kind of want a snack right now, but I'll get it after. So we were eating snacks, and we were all the lights were out, and we were watching Pet Sematary. And the scary part wasn't even like, it was a jump scare, and it wasn't even really that scary looking back of it. It wasn't like a scary scene, but the jump scare was the first one I remember really scaring everybody. We all jumped, but it basically was just near the beginning. It was Church, before anybody died. It was Church, who is the cat, jumping out of the tree going and everybody was like, "Oh man!" So yeah, that was the first jump scare. And by the way, I ended up going to Bangor, Maine, where Stephen King, I think he moved, but where he lived at the time a few years ago, 4 years ago. And I went to the cemetery where they filmed that and got to see that part of the movie. So that was pretty cool. Stephen King or Clive Barker? Oh, I guess both for different reasons. I like a lot of Stephen King, but there's also a lot of Stephen King I don't like. But yeah, Clive Barker too. And then another movie I used to watch, which it wasn't really scary, but it was Nightbreed. You guys remember Nightbreed? Boone, and that was in the early 90s. Dead Calm. Sleepaway Camp. Yeah, seriously, same here. Rachel's sister, and I always that's the scariest part of the movie. Zelda, Rachel. I was watching it with Rachel too, because that's her favorite movie, Pet Sematary, and I was watching it, and I think that even though it was her favorite, I think that she forgot that the wife's name is Rachel, and then when that part comes on, and Zelda's like Rachel, she's just like, oh my god. That's the spinal bifida. That was the scariest part of the movie, for sure. I did see Hereditary, and okay, so here's my thing with Hereditary. I think Hereditary was really well done, and I think it was really scary all the way up until the end. And I've said this before, but I feel like this is how I feel. I feel like the writer, all of a sudden, he had something great, and then at the end, he's like, he gave it to his kids to finish it. The end just really sucked, in my opinion. I didn't see Annihilation. Nightbreed was a better book. I didn't read the book. I didn't like the Pet Sematary remake. So I did watch it within the last few months, and I didn't care for it at all. Whatever. I feel like some movies they shouldn't remake it. They shouldn't remake some movies. And I really hope they never remake that movie right there. Boom. Don't. It doesn't need to be remade. And don't remake Goonies either. I feel like the only thing they could do would be like ruin the memory if they did remake certain movies. Other movies are great remakes. I know. I actually liked the remake of Dawn of the Dead. I think that one was Sarah Polley. Was in that one. A Tale of Two Sisters. I didn't see that. I know. I love Fright Night, and I don't think I saw the remake, and I don't think I wanted to see the remake for Fright Night. You're so cool, Brewster. Oh, I love Fright Night. Lost Boys. I mean, yeah, that was the time that I was like growing up in the 80s, and I really loved those movies, and like I wanted so badly for them to be true. Like I wanted so badly to, like, I need to meet some vampire. I need to be a vampire. I need to go on adventures like in the Lost Boys, like the Frog Brothers, and I love Salem's Lot too, by the way. It's funny because Rachel has a story about Salem's Lot. She's like, her and her friend were her friend was like, oh yeah, I'll watch Salem's Lot with you. And they watched it, and she's like, oh, so what'd you think of it? Because Rachel likes Salem's Lot. But her friend was like, it was a lot different than I remember. I thought it was, she thought it was The Sandlot. But she watched Salem's Lot. Anyway. Let the Right One In. Yeah, that's another one of my favorites. Let Me In and Let the Right One In. I actually like Let the Right One In a little better than the American version. But they're both good. Chris Sarandon, definitely. So I saw Chris Sarandon at one of the Scaricons I went to around here. And with the time, I didn't know him by name. And I was walking through the convention, and this is probably like 5 or 6 years ago. And I'm walking through, and I look over, and I'm like, oh, be careful of this vampire over here. Well, yeah. And I also saw Eric Roberts too, and it was kind of cheesy because you'd have to go and pay him to get a picture with him, but you'd have to do everything specific. He'd make you stand. I just watched like other people doing it, and like you'd have to stand in front of him, and then he'd come over, and he'd always be on, his right side, the good side, and he'd always do the same face, and he'd put his hands on the person's shoulder, and he'd go like every time, like, and then he'd have to do it every single time the same way. And you weren't allowed to touch him or anything. He would only touch your shoulders. I didn't see What We Do in the Shadows. You feel like you're taller than me, but you're not? How does that happen? Well, there's a video of us standing next to each other, so you can see which one of us is taller. You haven't seen the US remake. The US remake is pretty good, but I really liked the US remake, but I loved the original. I like Troll Hunter too. And of course, Creepshow. I love Creepshow. I've been meaning to watch that, but I have still, I have not watched the new Batman trailer. I remember pulling up, I remember clicking on it and pulling it up, and it didn't play, and then I forgot about it, and I never watched it. So I did see Train to Busan. The Cube would be like maybe like a sci-fi-ish horror, much like The Platform. Did everybody see The Platform? I've seen Ju-on, yep, and The Grudge. Those were probably the closest recent movies that scared me. It's weird because movies don't really scare me anymore like they did when I was little, and I miss that because I want to be scared. So I always go into a movie that I want to be scared. I know not everybody wants to be scared, but those of you that love horror, you get it. You want to be scared. And The Grudge and The Ring, both of them were scary to me. And the reason why, because a lot of people have told me like, that wasn't scary. And I'm thinking to myself, if that really happened, you'd be scared. And whenever I go into a movie, I go in there, especially a horror movie, I have a willingness to like suspend reality and put myself in the position. And when I watched The Ring, I believe I watched it in the movie theater. And the very beginning was pretty scary, but the very end, you guys have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. That main part at the very end, like, if you were in that position, you would be scared. And I think that's the closest one that did it. That and Ju-on, the part where they were in, I don't know if it was like a building or a hotel or a apartment building, but under the blanket part and also in the staircase. Oh, scary stuff. Bram Stoker's Dracula is my all-time favorite horror movie. It's not scary to me at all, but it's my favorite. I love vampires and I love that story, and that takes the cake for me. That's my all-time. But a very close second. Like, I mean, there's so many vampire movies I love. I don't want to rank them. I only put that one in number one position, and everything else is just like movies that I really love. But the movie that I've watched more than any other movie is Interview with the Vampire, and that's probably because it's more like, I was obsessed with vampires. I wanted to be a vampire at one point in my life. I mean, I would still take it. I'd be a vegan vampire. But yeah, back in the 90s, like, I was obsessed. And Interview with the Vampire was a movie that was kind of like, it wasn't really a horror. It was more like telling the story of a vampire. So I wanted to see all kinds of clues. Like, what tell me more about. I was like under the impression that Anne Rice would not know all of this stuff unless she either was a vampire or she came in contact with a vampire and she knows like some kind of secret that the rest of the world doesn't know. So I was like trying to look for clues in the movie, and I literally watched that movie. You guys are going to think I'm crazy, but I would watch it every single day for a while. And yeah, but I mean, Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme was one of my favorite movies growing up too. When I was probably like 12 or 13, that movie was, top notch for like martial arts movies and sci-fi when it came out. I mean, I know we got a lot of crazy movies that like with crazy fight scenes nowadays, but that scene like at the beginning where he's running, like, I mean, he had some cardio to do what he did at the I think it was the beginning of the movie, but yeah, crazy stuff. I mean, I don't know, Trini. I could be, and I could just be trying to like throw you guys off. Yeah, you're right, Labyrinth. The Grudge did violate that rule under the covers. That's the one place you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be safe. There was some scary until you get to the very end and you see what you see. At least for me, the Sixth Sense was a pretty amazing movie, and I thought it was pretty scary up until the end. when it all came together, and then I was like, oh my god. But Stutter and Stanley. Jason and the Argonauts, isn't that with, oh, what's his name? Jason and his brother, the twins? What's his name? Jason, I forget his name. Why am I forgetting his name? Am I going back to the gym when it opens? When they reopen? Yeah, I'd like to. I would like to. Stir of Echoes with Kevin Bacon. I really like Flatliners with Kevin Bacon. Billy Mahoney. Oh, did somebody else say that? I didn't see it, but if you said it, then I said it too. Yeah, Flatliners is one of my favorites as well. After watching a film, do you feel like you take on a character from the film? That's the best way I can put it. Yeah, actually, I've always been very impressionable, like, and inspired by films and characters and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think that I've been like that quite a bit in the past. Flatliners was a good movie. If you guys haven't seen it, yeah, Kevin Bacon was in Flatliners. Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts. Yeah, Kevin Bacon was one of the first ones to do it, I think. And Kiefer Sutherland was the Billy Mahoney dream. Billy Mahoney was the little kid that, well, I won't ruin it for you, but Kevin Bacon and everything. There's a new movie coming out with Kevin Bacon that looks pretty scary too. It's like he buys this house somewhere, and when he goes in it, he's like, there's something wrong with this house because the inside measures wider than it does outside, which is impossible, but there's no mistake here. Like, so that's, I'm interested in seeing that. 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. I think he turned that into a business. I think that's one of his charities or something. 6 Degrees. I just found him on TikTok. He's got a TikTok account. He's only got like 1 video or 2 videos. Oh, they did a remake of Flatliners? I didn't know they did a remake. Did I? Onibaba? Oh, what's that? Babadook. Babadook. Leave while you still can. It's movie talk with us tonight. Onibaba is a Japanese horror. They have some of the best horrors. Ellen Page is in the new Flatmate. I didn't know they did a new one. That's weird. Did I miss that? Hey, go sit down. See, I shouldn't have looked over there. No. Go over there. It's National Dog Day. Go have a treat. It was worth seeing. Are we talking about the Flatliners remake? Oh, yeah, I played, well, I don't know, depending on which one you're talking about, the Friday the 13th video game. I used to play it on Commodore 64, and it was such a corny game, but it was scary. We'd play it, and then everything would be like, you'd have to find a weapon, and you'd go from like scene to scene, and then all of a sudden Jason would come, and the music was, you'd be like, and you'd try to like get away, and Jason would try to kill you. Movie talk with a vegan zombie without an E. Well, I do have an E right now, but if I was on Twitch, I wouldn't have the E. The remake wasn't worth seeing. Okay, I won't see the remake. trying to think, what are some of my other favorites? Silver Bullet with Corey Haim. The horror anime series Mononoke. That's not Princess Mononoke, is it? With no beard, yeah. Why? Wait a minute. I'm lost. Why are we? So why are we talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme? Yeah, it is. It's sad. Corey Haim's life. I remember when I was living in D.C. It was 2008, 2009, and the reality show The Two Coreys was on, and I watched that like. Yeah, Lucas. Yeah. Yep, Lucas won't be the same. Or wasn't it Powder too? Wasn't he in Powder? That was the other one. Or was that? No, maybe that was different. You like Dream a Little Dream? I liked all the Corey Haim, Corey Feldman movies. Yeah, I know. I knew exactly why you said that about Lucas. Yeah. And I think one of his ex-girlfriends said that when they were dating, she picked it up and said, "Let's watch this." He's like, "No, let's not watch that one." Yeah, I've seen The Good Son. Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood. Today's Macaulay Culkin's birthday? That's so weird. I was just talking about Macaulay Culkin 2 days ago. Because I thought that, they didn't agree with me, but I think that Rachel's brother looks like Macaulay Culkin. But they didn't think that. And I don't mean like, I mean like the way he looks, I think now. But I'm not talking about strung out drug, when he was in his drug addiction phase. I'm talking about recovered. He looks good. 1408 was scary, especially the part where he first looks out the window and he sees the reflection. That part right there was really scary. When I play a video game, I pretend to be the characters that you play. Yeah, I guess I do to a point sometimes. If I'm really into it. Otherwise, I'm like, Is his name still Macaulay Culkin? Culkin? What? Culkin? I don't know. You were the good son in the movie? See, the good son wasn't even her son. Is she ever home anymore? No. No. Nope, not really. Oh, you saw it in the movies. I don't remember if I saw it in the I think I might have. Yeah, she's working right now. What other movies are there any movies that are Any good horror movies right now that's on, like, I don't know, either Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon? No, I still have to watch that Batman preview. Who looks like the Crow? Oh, Robert Pattinson looks like the Crow in it. So he's taking like a darker. Oh, they chose his middle name to be Macaulay Culkin. So his new name is Macaulay Culkin Culkin. Macaulay Culkin. That is so weird. Scream was actually pretty good. I like how they did that. They really took everything about horror and they put it together. Like, that was. Ted, I didn't hear that. I actually heard it was. What I heard, it was Korea. It was North Korea, I think. Not China. Paranormal team that went into a rundown hospital in Thailand, but I can't remember the name. Yeah, that's right. That's the name of Macaulay Culkin's podcast, the Bunny Ears Podcast. And of course, we have all the George Romero movies too. Night of the Living Dead. We should do a. Who? I did that one year, didn't I? Yeah, I did. We watched Night of the Living Dead live because there's no copyright. Put some Cure songs in some vampire films like Cold and 100 Days from Pornography in the Forest would go really well. Yeah, there's a lot of Cure songs that would go well. But speaking of The Crow, they made a song for the movie The Crow. Every night how's it go? Every night Yeah, it's really sad. They don't have freedom over there. So they have no say. Yes, Burn, that's right, Burn. And that was in The Crow, which I did see in the movie theater when it came out. Monster series, good 80s cheesy horror. The Monsters series. A series of monsters? No, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Let me look it up. Monsters series. Monsters TV show. Huh. No, I don't think I saw that. 1988. No, I didn't. But I don't. The clip that I just saw reminded me of. You guys seen the Twilight Zone, the movie? The last one where the little boy Anthony could get anything he wished, and it was very. I remember it was like the reality was so distorted that watching that as like probably as an adult, but as a little kid, it just was so weird to me. And I remember he just got fed up with his family, and he put one in the TV and a cartoon. And And I remember he had a cheeseburger that he had peanut butter on. And I was like, that's disgusting. Oh my God. But then just a couple years ago when I was in California, Doomie's has that on their menu, a vegan cheeseburger with peanut butter. And I was like, oh my God, really? And my friend that I was with ordered it. And he's like, yeah, it's really good. And I still haven't had one, but I kind of want to try one now. Anyway. Oh, you used to live in Seattle by Brandon Lee's grave. Yeah, I was also really upset when he died because I was a huge and still am a huge fan of Bruce Lee, and I was like, oh, Bruce Lee died way before his time, and well, at least we got his son Brandon Lee, and then he ended up dying. And I was like, oh my God, there's no one to carry on his movies and stuff. His daughter actually teamed up with vegan skateboarder Mike Vallely, and they made some boards and stuff. Bruce Lee boards and stuff. Yes, that's very good, Anthony. Do you want to see something scary? No, I mean it's really scary. That's the quote from the beginning of the movie. And you got John Lithgow in it, who I think the original one was William Shatner from the airplane one, The Creature on the Wing. And also Jimi Hendrix, right? I've only been to Seattle once. Brandon Lee might have been Neo. Well, they wanted Will Smith to be the original Neo. No. The original Twilight Zone with the creature on the wing. I believe that was Shatner. I don't think they had an original one with the Anthony one. I think that was a new one. The Twilight Zone, Shatner, and also Leonard Nimoy is in one of them too, like one of his first roles ever. It might have been his first role. William Shatner. Yeah, I was right. It's William Shatner. It might have been his first movie, his first starring role ever. But he was in the airplane with the monster on the wing. And then the remake was John Lithgow. The Twilight Zone series, the new one, I want to see the Jordan Peele one. I haven't seen it, so I can't really say. Yeah, he chose the Wild Wild West. What? Huge mistake. I like Clive Barker. Nightbreed was one of my favorites. My booth at the Scaricon show a couple of years ago, probably more than a couple of, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. My booth, I was right next to Pinhead. He's in my video. Yeah. Yeah, I like Warwick Davis in Leprechaun. He also had a show out. Do you remember the show called The Wizard? I liked that show when I was growing. It was a series that didn't last long, but he was in. It was called The Wizard, I believe, or Wizard, The Wizard, The Wizard. Was that what it was called? Warwick Davis. Mad Mardigan. TV shows. It's not coming up. Warwick Davis. Was it someone else? I got them mixed up. Filmography. We're looking at TV shows. And we want to go way far back too. Star Wars. Gulliver's Travels. Huh. Unless it's a Mandela effect, I know I'm not making this up. Ralph, $2 super chat. Thank you. Thank you, a collab with Vegan Gains. Yeah, I talked to him a couple days ago. So I think we're going to do, I don't know if he wants me on his stream or if he's going to come on my stream. Life's Too Short, Ricky Gervais. Wait, what? What? I said what? Wait, where's Craig? Are you just saying Craig? Oh, there he is. I didn't see your first one. Did you say something? Yeah, that's the first one I'm seeing is Hey Kids. Hey Craig, what's up? We're talking about horror movies tonight. And I'm trying to figure something out because I definitely remember this, but it's not coming up anywhere. It was a TV series. Let me see. Maybe it wasn't Warwick Davis. The Wizard TV series. We're talking about 80s. The Wizard. Did I get it mixed up? Is it not him? Action adventure. Hey, I was just a little kid. I was only 10. Television series. Okay, so I don't think it was him. Starring. Oops. Nope. Wrong memory. The Twilight Zone is on Netflix. Yeah, the original Twilight Zone. Scroll up a little further. Let's see what Craig said. I'm doing it, Craig. Let me see. Scrolling up a little further. Scrolling up a lot, not seeing it. Still not seeing it. Craig, I don't think it showed up. Yeah, there's nothing. Maybe there was a lag and I didn't get it until after. Yeah, I don't see it. I just see Hey Kids. That's the first one I see. He said I was up past my bedtime. I don't see that. It's not there. Oh, I do? Ah, that's why. There we go. Oh, okay. So, anyway, yeah, it is past my bedtime. But hey, I'm pulling an all-nighter for the next couple minutes. And hey, Craig, I got my PlayStation working, so I'm going to stream that a little bit later. And I'm going to play Days Gone zombie game. Never played it before. Don't even know how to play it. Don't even know how to work the controller. We'll figure it out. It might be really exciting, or it might suck because I don't even know how to do it. But we'll figure it out. But hey, I'm Generation X. I'll probably figure it out. I'm pulling an all-nighter for the next couple minutes. Yeah. Oh, Gregory. No Egg Craig. If you're new to my channel, No Egg Craig also has a channel, and we're friends. He lives not too far from me, probably 15 minutes from me. Although I haven't seen him because of this whole pandemic, but when it's done, we'll probably hang out again and do things, stuff like that, do things and stuff. Craig, what's your favorite scary movie, Craig? I don't think Craig likes scary movies. We were talking scary movies for the majority of this live stream. Baby Katie, my niece, she's in my last video. She's growing up. But she's got a little sister who looks just like her. Drive by so Craig could wait. That's what I started doing at the beginning of this with my parents. I would drive by their house and be like, "Hi," be on the phone with them, and stuff. Can I send you a YouTube link to a short film horror movie thing? You mean to watch on my live stream? You can send me a link, yeah. I don't know if I can play it on here. Last time I tried to do that, remember Threat Level Midnight? I got shut down for violating guidelines. Yeah, Katie's doing good. We just did a family taste test, and she's there eating some of the baklava. Go check it out. It's on the main channel, the Vegan Zombie channel. Yeah, The Office got my live stream pulled. But it wasn't like an episode of it was Threat Level Midnight when it came out on YouTube. YouTube only. It wasn't even like part of the series. So I thought we could do a viewing party. And that lasted for a couple minutes. Well, Craig, I mean, I guess he's not going to tell us his favorite scary movie. Oh, what happened? They changed everything. I hate when they change everything. They change the layout of things. Once you get used to it and then they change it. Yes, it was a fake movie they did. The characters from the Office did. The Witching Season. I don't think so. I haven't heard of those. Yeah, I had fun too. Thanks for stopping by, Labyrinth. Have a good night. Yeah, you don't. So is there any horror movies that you watched that you were scared of and says, I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to watch horror movies anymore? I don't think I've seen Deadly Friend either. No, I'm gonna stream it on Twitch to get it sorted out and start, and then we'll do a YouTube later. Not tonight, but like another day. How do you cook no evil chicken? It looks weird. No evil chicken. Thanks for the super chat, Ralph. No Evil Foods is like a vegan company that has like different vegan proteins like seitan and stuff like that. So you could do a couple different things. You could simmer it in a sauce. You can pan fry it. You could even put it in the air fryer and then mix it up with some different sauces and stuff like that. So yeah, it's seitan. So all you really have to do is heat it up. You could even barbecue it, grill it. There's a lot of different things you could do with it. So personally, I would probably sear it up in like a cast iron with like a different sauce or something. Where's my printed camo? It's in the other room. Oh wait, I know Craig's all-time favorite movie. It's MacGruber. I look so young. I am young. I went through a time machine the other day. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you. They don't interest you? You're like, why am I watching somebody getting killed? Why am I watching somebody die? Why am I watching some... Those are both the same thing. Well, no, they're not. Is there any scary movies that stand out in your mind that you did see where you were like, yeah, I'm not going to watch another scary movie? Is it wrong that I've never seen any of the Friday the 13th movies, Freddy movies, Halloween movies, Aliens? Well, how old are you, Ted? You do love Creepshow. Well, that's a good thing. You started watching You on Netflix and it was too dark and I just couldn't keep watching it. I just kept feeling depressed after watching it. I don't think that's scary though. Yeah, I watched season 1. I've never seen MacGruber, actually. Maybe I'll have to watch that with Craig. My dog shadows are kind of creepy. They look like little werewolves or like creatures of the night in the background. Yeah, Ted, you're 47 and you've never watched those? Yes, there's something wrong if you've never watched those movies. Alien, you've never seen any of the Aliens? I don't know. Do you not like horror movies? Or because you said a few really good ones, so... Stupid movies. So do you like Dumb and Dumber? Craig's like, yes! You thought season 2 of You was, but I didn't see. I watched season 1 because I don't like to not finish something that I started, and but then I didn't finish season 2. I'm like, all right, I got number 1 done. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Golden Girls. I never got into Golden Girls. Yeah, I'm gonna try to Twitch the PS game tonight. I'm going to end this. What time is it? Probably feed the dogs and get something to eat myself, and then get back up here and fire it up. Do my dogs rip toys up? Some of them they do. But surprisingly, they keep their little stuffed animals for a while. And they love them. And they don't rip them up. But after a while, they start ripping them up. Yeah. Oh, I thought Haunting of Hill House, the remake series, I thought that was pretty good. I can't wait for the next. Are they going to have a second season? Watch the second season? Okay, Mel, I'll check that out sometime. Can you watch the... Where did you send me the video, Craig? Why does this have to be different? I'm not sure where you sent it to me. Did you email it to me? I don't have an email from you. And Facebook had to change everything around, so like I'm trying to learn how to do Facebook again because what the heck? I don't like the new layout. I didn't ask for this. What's up, Facebook? It's completely different. Craig, where did you send me the video? Did you send it to me on my phone? No. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Why is everything delayed? Something's going on. Wait, Craig? I don't know. Oh, probably not on this channel. Here we go. Let's see. So Craig, you linked it to me because I don't see it. There we go. Craig's sad. Oh man, he just sent me a broken heart. I didn't get the link. Did anybody see the link? It must have not went through unless I didn't see any links go through. I've been looking at the chat the whole time. Oh, there it is. Okay. No. Craig, it says video unavailable. I just made you a mod, but it didn't go... It says video unavailable. Boom, video unavailable. What do you think now? I don't know what to think. Unavailable. Oh, here's another one. Let's try it again. Oh, we got an ad playing. All right, hold on a second. I need to... put some headphones on so I can hear this, because I can't hear it. I don't have the sound on. Actually, you know what I could just do? Hold on, I'll just... Yeah, I watch ads. I don't have YouTube Premium. Hang on one second. Had to grab my old headphones. These aren't my good ones, but at least I can hear it without changing all the settings. All right, let's watch this. By the way, can everybody hear that? Is that too loud or too not loud? It's called Lights Out. Oh, yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, I've seen this. It's a nice little short that they turned into a movie. Lights out. Oh, there's no audio? You can't hear the audio? Hold on. Hello. This always gives me trouble. So far, there really hasn't been any sound, just the sound of the clicking of the light. Craig. Audio input. Video audio. Well, you know what? I don't know. I can't get the sound to work on here, and I'm not sure why. Skype, no. Webcam. Scene. This is it. But you guys can probably hear my dog chewing their toy. Default. Oh, maybe this is it. Okay. Boom. Audio output. Give me just 1 second here. Oh, that's probably why. I wasn't expecting to play anything, so I didn't have it ready. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Tell me if this works. Echo. Can you hear that? Well, that's it. And we got 2 political ads. All right, there we go. You heard me? Yeah, Craig, I knew exactly what you were talking about. But thanks for clearing that up. Okay, so you guys can, yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out the sound here while we were doing that. Do I sound okay? We got to do more of these horror related ones before Halloween, like in the upcoming months of autumn. Favorite time. All right. I'm just asking because I've done several that I thought were good, but then when I went back to listen to them, they were horrible. Mainly on Twitch, but I just want a nice sound because sound is everything. Even if you couldn't see anything, like if it was just completely like that, you could still hear my voice because that would keep you here to listen to what I am saying. But if I only had a picture and then the sound was horrible, everybody would be like, I can't see it. You wrote a horror story a few months ago? We should turn it into a film. You hate horror movies, but you wrote a horror story. We should do that. We should turn it into like a little short video. Would you be down with that for that? I was, before you logged on, I was talking about a dream that I had probably about 20 years ago that would be a great short. I mean, it's literally pretty short, but I need some other people to help me film it. Gregory. 3 pages? Yeah, so, yeah. Hey, short is, it doesn't matter if it's like a minute long or 10 minutes long. Do I want to read it on your stream? Sure, send it over. I'll read it right now in my scariest voice. Let's see if we can get some... Oh, I can't. I mean, I was thinking of something else that I can't do. But I can get some... Hold on. Just send it over. Let's just send it over. I got to pull something up here. Let me see. Probably right here. Where did I got to put these back on. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Campfire sounds would be great, but I'm going to pull up some music. See, I'm on the second account right now, so I can't play anything from my sound library because I only bought it on my main channel. Actually, I did have it on this channel at one point, but they screwed it up. I got to renew it. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Can you guys hear that? Or no, probably not. It's Can you hear that, or is it double audio? Sounds good. It's actually a campfire sound. It does kind of sound like rain, but you can't hear that? Too low? It's too low? Too low. Testing 1, 2. Volume's good. I turned it as up as high as it can go, so. I'm loud enough? I don't want to be too loud. Okay. Well, Craig, where are you going to send it? Check my email. All right. We're going to read Craig's horror story. It's only 3 pages long. I've never read it before, so I'll try not to screw it up. Oh, creepy stories. Can you guys hear that or no? Two and a fourth pages. Well, either way, let's hopefully I can pull it up. Okay. You can only hear me, not that. All right, hold on then. I'm going to do something else. I'll pull up a different sound. Let's see what this is. I'm afraid it's going to be too loud now because I got it way up. But let me see what this sound is. Oh, I like this. Can you hear that? All right, let's try this. Oh, you still can't hear anything? What the heck's going on here? Do you hear it now? Is it too loud? It's too loud, okay. Is that better? My voice has to be a lot louder than this, so. Is it better? Testing. We want to just barely able to be heard. Tiny bit louder. Turn it up a tad. It's gone. All right, there it is. Hopefully. Perfect. Okay, good. Paul is here? Who's Paul? It's very low now? Oh, Wahida. What's up? All right, I got to take these off. I can't listen to that while I read. Here we go. Stop calling me dad. All right, here we go. It was an unreasonably warm March night, and I was coming back from a successful night of shooting astrophotography. I captured the Milky Way in a way that I just couldn't do when I was back home in Brooklyn, and the idea of a late night editing had never seemed so tantalizing. Usually I would be tired driving at 2 a.m., but I was just so excited to get back and edit. I wasn't even thinking about sleep. I had only just recently gotten into photography, and tonight seemed like a real breakthrough night for me. It was a new moon. I was miles away from anyone else, and the light pollution, and any light pollution, I was miles away from anyone else and any light pollution, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky tonight. Literally the conditions that every astrophotographer dreams about. I had my tunes cranked up, listening to Post Malone, which only seemed fitting for Malone, New York. I didn't even care that I had another hour of driving ahead of me until I got back to my Airbnb. Did I mention I was happy? I was being careful not to drive too fast. I just want to make sure everything's good, right? Okay. I was being careful not to drive too fast, though, because deer and even bears are pretty prevalent in the Adirondacks, especially the northern Adirondacks. I hadn't seen another person since sunset, when some hikers were hiking back to their cars. But that was fine by me. I could use the seclusion. I live with 4 family members, and our house is like a hub for anyone else in the family. Everyone else in the family. It's rarely just us 5 in the house. And on top of all of that, I'm the most introverted one in the family. So this solo getaway was just what I needed. Honestly, this trip had me daydreaming about moving up here. Let's see. With my high beams on now, only about 45 minutes away from my Airbnb, I squinted as I saw something on the side of the road up ahead. As I approached it, I realized it wasn't a thing. It was a little girl. She couldn't be any more than 8 years old. She was wearing an ill-fitted blue knee-length dress and a large green polka dots on it. As I drove closer, I could see that her dress was filthy, and she didn't appear to have any shoes on. What was she doing here? Was she okay? My mind jumped to the worst-case scenarios. Maybe she was kidnapped and had just escaped looking for help. Or maybe she was lost. As I got closer, I started to slow down to see if I could help her. And she just continued to stand there in her dirty polka-dotted dress. She didn't have her arms. She didn't wave her arms or look alarmed in anything. I got the dogs back there. And that's when I saw it. I could feel the blood in my body turn cold, and my heart went through my chest. Her hair was black, and and matted it like she hadn't showered in weeks. Let's read that whole sentence again. I could feel the blood in my body turn cold, and my heart went through my chest. Her hair was black as the night and matted like she hadn't showered in weeks. Her skin was gray and mottled, and where I expected to see her eyes and nose, there was nothing, just a mouth. I could feel my body go into fight or flight mode, and time seemed to slow down. Part of me was screaming to jam my foot on the brakes, and another part of me was trying to process exactly what I was looking at. In my confusion, I had almost come to the complete stop, and she began to slowly walk toward the car. Her mouth started to open, and she stretched one arm out towards my door handle. My foot almost went through the pedal. I accelerated so fast that my back wheels squealed. As I started to pull away, I heard a loud snap. She must have had her hand on the door handle. As I pulled away, it wrenched out her hands. I looked in the rearview mirror and saw nothing. The harder I looked in the mirror to see her, the more goosebumps I got. She was gone. I told myself that she must have just scampered back into the woods, but part of me knew that was a lie. I turned off my music so I could think and just process exactly what had just happened. It didn't seem possible, but the image of her was searing into my brain. It didn't even look like her eyes were gouged out or that her nose was somehow grotesquely chopped off. I could see her in my mind. There was nothing but a gray, empty space where there should have been eyes and a nose. I was freaked out. I was freaking myself out. I shivered just thinking about it and said, "Okay, Siri, play Circles by Post Malone." Okay, now playing Circles by Post Malone on Spotify. The familiar guitar riff began to put me at ease, and I could feel my goosebumps beginning to melt away. I took a deep breath and readjusted in my seat. We couldn't turn around till we were upside down. I'll be the bad guy now, but no, it ain't too proud. I couldn't be there even when I try. You don't believe it. We do this every time. I could actually feel myself smiling now, trying to lose myself in the music and just forget the encounter I just had. I slowed around a curve and in the road and turned my high beams off. There was another car coming from the other direction. They turned off their high beams too, but the light was still blinding compared to the pitch black night. As I passed them, I turned my high beams back on and my heart stopped and nearly fell to my stomach. There she was again, only this time she was walking from the right side of the road toward the middle of the road, right where my car was going to be in about 2 seconds. One rotting gray arm outstretched reaching for my door as I quickly swerved to the left. Time seemed to slow again as I looked out the passenger side window. I could see her in my mouth. I could see her mouth open again in a silent scream. I could see her rotting teeth, and just even though she didn't have eyes, I could tell she was staring hungrily at me. This time I passed her and I didn't look back in the rearview mirror. I was too scared. I would see nothing. Why was it scarier to see nothing? An Airbnb had never felt so comforting. I was at least 30 minutes away still, and the way I was driving now, I would likely get there in 20. I think I still had the music on, but I couldn't hear it. I had tunnel vision. I was planning on how I would get back out of my car into the Airbnb. After I parked, I would immediately turn off my car and just leave my camera bag and tripod in the trunk and sprint to the house. Lock every lock in the house, shut all the curtains, and turn on every light. Editing my photos was the last thing on my mind right now. Getting as far away from her as possible was the only thing on my mind. I barely slowed around the turns now as I hurried home. Suddenly, a massive buck came out of nowhere and I slammed on the brakes and swerved to the left. I was too fast. I was going too fast now to miss it, and I clipped it with the front corner of my car. There was a sickening thud, and the deer bounced off, confused, and bolted into the woods. I could tell, even from where I sat, that the right headlight was out. Without even thinking, I got into the car and I got out of the car and ran around to see the damage. Orange and clear plastic polycarbonate littered on the road where my headlight used to be is now smoking. Shit, I screamed to nobody. Can I ever catch a break? All of a sudden, I smelled something awful, like a rotting carcass. Every hair on my body started to stand on end, and I had an eerie feeling that I was being watched. Part of me thought it would just be best not to know, but another part of me needed to know. I mustered all the courage I had left and slowly turned around, fearing what I would see. The end. Sorry, I kind of butchered that. Okay. Don't get out of the car. That was a pretty good story. Is that the one that you told me was inspired by my true life story? Maybe she's friendly. Maybe, or maybe not. Yeah, I gotta read that again without screwing it up. Maybe I could do like a whole video where if I screw it up, I can redo it. If you want, I'll do that and I'll upload it. Yeah, that was a good story. And Craig doesn't like horror. It was pretty good for not liking horror. So what did you guys think? That was a good. Sorry, you guys could probably hear the pups the whole time in the background. Oh, spoopy. Okay. Well, I like that. I should read more of those on my lives. Maybe like to close each one out or something like that. Close every live stream out with a scary story. So maybe I should close this one out because we've been on for 2 hours now, and I still want to. How long have we been live? 2 hours and 6 minutes. So, yeah, the dogs are going crazy. I'm going to stop this, but I'm going to be back in a little while on Twitch. The vegan zombie without an E at the end. Anybody else have any stories they want to send me? Go ahead and send me those. You can contact me on, well, trying to find a good way to send them to me. Yep. All right, so that's it for this. I got to go. The pups are going crazy, so I'll talk to you guys later. And thanks for the story, Craig. Yeah, you guys can send them to me on email. The vegan zombie 2 at gmail.com. All right, guys. See you soon.